All right, I learned something recently, and that is that if you want to learn really cool skills like the planche or the back lever or the handstand push-up, it's actually a really, really long road to it. I bought this book to learn how to do calisthenics and body weight exercises, gymnastics stuff, and it turns out that if you want to do 10 planche push-ups, that's about as hard as bench pressing 500 pounds 10 times in terms of the work you need to put in to accomplish it. And so I got pretty quickly humbled in terms of my expectations for how fast I would progress. And I'm following the advice of this book in order to generate a program that is going to let me actually reach those goals. So you break it down because you don't want to train just push or just pull, because you'll get imbalances in your muscles and stuff like that. So I'm going to be training push and pull. You got vertical pushing, which is like push-ups and L-sits. So that's pushing upward and pushing downward. And then horizontal push, vertical pull, horizontal pull. And then I'm just doing stuff in the book that's at level 5, which is, it goes all the way up to level 14. So my goals right now are to hit these level 5 exercises. I want a wall straddle press eccentric move. I want a rings turned out L-sit, rings turned out push-ups, pull over, straddle, back lever. Hey, back lever, we're getting somewhere. And the reason I even have these super like basic exercises here is because they need to have absolutely perfect form. You need to put a high volume of work into them, and these guys have prerequisites. So I copied stuff over from the book. I'm basically going to start with just the tuck L-sit, get all the way up to the rings turned out L-sit. And by the time I'm able to get up there and meet every single goal along the way, like being able to do it with straight arms, my hands facing backwards, and for 20-second hold on the regular L-sit, once I'm able to do that, that means I'm, getting my connective tissue built up, getting the body used to what it needs to get used to in order to handle the greater stresses and instability that you're facing up here. And then eventually it's going to be like I can do the mana or other crazy moves. And there is some crossover in the value from different exercises here. So this is the most efficient way to get to those long-term goals of being able to do a planche, being able to do a handstand push-up, or even a clapping handstand push-up one day, or a planche push-up on my fingertips, But you cannot get there without putting in the enormous volume of work that needs to happen. Another thing I learned from the book is that you can get pretty muscular doing this, so it's not like you cannot do calisthenics and be big. It takes a little bit longer, but that's fine for me. I think I enjoy this stuff more than just weightlifting, so that's why I'm changing it up. Anyway, that is some thoughts on calisthenics, and yeah, basically the takeaway is you're kind of looking at years, not months, to gain some of these skills, because they're very technical and it's easy to over leverage yourself and damage your tissue or your joints and whatever. So yeah, I think writing it down in the book, Stephen, the author, he says that somebody surveyed a class of people, and it was they surveyed them, and they were like, hey, how many of you guys have goals? How many of you have goals written down? And only 3% of the class had written down their goals, and 13% of the class had concrete goals, and the rest of the class didn't really have anything concrete in their head at all, let alone written down. And Stephen says in 10 years, they came back and surveyed everybody again, and the 3% who had written down their goals were actually doing 10 times better than the people who hadn't. And the 13% who had goals at all were doing somewhat better. I can't remember how much better. So he suggests when you want to accomplish moves, you don't just say, I want to learn a planche one day. You say, I want to learn a planche for this many seconds, yada, 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 with this exact form. Or I want to be able to do 20 rep or 20-second hold of the advanced tuck back lever, for example. I need to do 20 seconds of it. So I wrote everything down, and that means I'm actually going to accomplish these because I can see it. It's like a video game. I can just level up my character as I learn these moves. But yeah, this is my approach to calisthenics. If anybody wants this sheet, just shoot me a message. I'll give it to you. These are just my particular goals. Long term, I'm shooting far past level 5 movements. I really want to hit like, I want to hit an actual planche. That's a big one for me. Yeah, these level 5 movements, it's very humbling. They're actually pretty hard to do 100% right, and they are level A in the gymnastics code of points or whatever, and the levels go all the way up to G. So if I'm able to get these 5, that will essentially mean that I'm a beginner gymnast. A beginner. So we're looking at at least 2 months of work here to get all these guys out of the way, and the work is going to get exponentially longer and harder when I replace this chart with skills at level 8, for example. But honestly, I'm looking forward to it. It's nice to have a new routine and something very concrete and logical and easy to understand to go at. Oh, a final point is that you want to make sure that you're not progressing in one skill faster than others, or you're going to have imbalances. Anyway, that's enough monologuing. Enjoy.